they're not doing 30, they're in trouble because there's a police van right there.
Yeah, please make sure you do 30 at that bit.
Oh, I'm just going to go.
And then, if you want to take it on the A3 for a bit, you can.
There's literally just this, because I tend to scout out like just a tiny little road just to try. Okay, so it's a little bit firmer. So have you got like, is it got adaptive? It's just
no,
a standard,
this is just
complete?
absolutely bog standard. The
Gotcha.
only extra on this, apart from the paint, was, that was very kind of them, was darker tinted rear windows. Other than that, it's completely stock.
Okay, which is not too bad. Yeah, it feels, this is, because this is on 18s, which is the exact same as mine. Wave to the police van. Yeah, the exact same as mine. Just try.
Well, there you go. Pop then.
So this is firmer than my car.
Okay.
For sure. See, I'm just going to take it easy because I just want to. It's just such a cool car to try. But so many people have said, like, TCR, give it a go, give it a go. Watch out for the pigeons.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really smooth. Must be buzzing every time you get into this.
It is a really good car because then you can just like, when you want to be normal, it's just normal, and when you want to be fun with it, you can.
I couldn't agree more, and that's exactly what I like about the car.
Oh, it's popping a bit then.
Yeah, so I mean, I've driven quite a lot of these, so I kind of know how.
Oh, you have to teach me how to get them to pop because
so,
I struggle to get it to pop. Oh, did you just rev your foot down?
No, so you downshift on the gearbox, and if you lift off over 3, it'll pop. So there you go.
Oh, it's well.
So have you not had that before?
No, I've got it to pop, but only a little bit. I couldn't work out how to do it.
So literally.
So put it in first gear, over 3, off, and it'll pop.
And it'll pop. So it's the exact same on all the ones that I've driven and the other Akrapovic. If you're like really on it, it won't actually. It makes a good noise.
So you can tell a difference with the exhaust note. Then.
Oh, massively. But no, that's a really good. There's a good point about how they threw these exhausts on as standard, and now it's just like £3,200 if you want.
Yeah. Well, they did up the price, so you did have to pay for it when they threw them on.
Right.
But I was lucky.
So you didn't. Okay.
So I ordered mine when it was still standard exhausts, and they just changed the build spec. But because I'd ordered it before they jacked up the price to include the
gotcha.
exhaust, I got it as a freebie.
That's amazing. So it's a £3,000 exhaust. Because I imagine a lot of owners who are looking for TCRs will look for the Akrapovic exhausts, I would say.
Yeah.
And I can tell why. I think...
because when I test drove one without the Akrapovic exhaust.
So you probably didn't get the...
But that did sound quite good, because I reckon this has probably got a sort of a more emission thing on it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's like barely any throttle, and that feels really, really nice. That's really, really good.
Oh yeah, I know where we are. These roads are not too bad, quite good actually.
Okay, I'm glad you do. I only scouted out like a little bit, so I was like...
Yeah, it's like a 30 and then a 40, and then actually they're quite decent.
Okay. That's interesting. It's interesting how much you learn when you drive all these. I mean, you think they're all just the same.
Yeah,
really
just different
not,
versions
really,
of the same
really
car.
Because this feels really planted suspension-wise. And I'm sort of like, it's obviously quite cold, but it's not too damp. I'm not like flat out on the throttle, but it's really, really nice and smooth. Because what is so 290 horsepower, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think. So that's, I mean, once you start going too much more, it's too much for like the front wheels anyway. So
yeah, because if you floor it, like properly floor it from like low speeds, it does, like, you do see the traction control light come on as it sort of squirms a little bit.
Yeah, it tries to sort itself out. So it's squirmy a little bit, but that's nice. Yeah, I mean, I can't complain about the gearbox. Doesn't feel any different to the latest Mark 8.
probably is the same, and all the different probably is the same.
They can't be bothered to change anything, can they? Other than the very confusing infotainment.
Yeah, my brother's just got a upgraded Golf as a company car, and he hates he's like, I don't understand it, I can't get the traction, all the temperatures and stuff. He's like, I hate it.
It's not good on the move, that's the thing.
Yeah, and he's like, I can't use my mobile phone, but I can stab at this thing.
Yeah. Oh wow, these are nice roads actually. So smooth. Yeah, so what I've noticed on all these Golfs, you know how we were hearing the bangs quite early on?
Yeah.
It will do it as like an entertaining thing when you're just sort of cruising really slowly. But when you're actually having some fun, it won't bother.
It doesn't pop.
Because it doesn't add anything.
No, it doesn't really, does it? You're doing it just to
for pure fun.
Amuse yourself, at low speed.
But yeah, no, if you ever want to do it, literally, if you're over 3 and tends to be under 4 and you just lift off, so if I rev it, lift off, you can't really tell.
Doesn't want to do it, does it? I find it does tend to do it more at lower speed.
Yeah, which is very strange, but these are nice roads as well. We're stuck behind a Citroen. Not quite the same. Nice pump there. I'll let it get away a little bit. Oh man, I'm going to say thank you so much again. This is amazing. So never driven a 7.5.
I didn't realise you hadn't driven a 7.5.
No.
I suppose all that because you've had 8s.
Had a lot of 8s.
And the club spot, I suppose, is 7.
Yeah, normal 7, and mine's a normal 7.
So you just have another one in the middle.
Exactly. And I mean, it's very familiar to what mine is, which I like. I'm a fan of keeping it simple. But you're in something completely different to my R, just because obviously 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, because I've never driven an R, so I've never I don't know what the difference feels like when if you do lance it for the.
No, this is definitely something where if you wanted to go. If you ever do like a road trip or something like that, this would be amazing.
Yeah, because it's fun on the roads, isn't it, as well, because it's 2-wheel drive.
Proper fun. And obviously a little bit lighter than mine as well, and yeah, I mean, you don't need any power, because the 40th that I drove, that had been mapped to 370 brake, so it was like quite a lot to the front wheels.
Were the front wheels coping with that, or were they struggling?
No, so I was very much like 50% throttle, like all the time on that drive, because I was just like, let's try and think of this as a stock
car. Yeah.
And it's good to see stock Golfs, because a lot of people modify them now.
Well, I always thought as well, like with this one being a special edition, I want to keep it stock, because people are like, do you want to tune it, whatever. I was like, no, because actually if I did want to sell it in the future and somebody wants one,
they're not going to necessarily like what you've done.
No, they'll probably, originals are probably worth more.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've seen, you can't get a TCR for less than like 31,000 today.
Yeah.
And they go up towards 40 nearly. So, I mean, you're literally just sitting on a car that's not really in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, especially in the current situation. It's mad.
But they're definitely ones that a lot of people, a lot of enthusiasts kind of are sought after.
Yeah, and because it was end of line, wasn't it? Although it's not a limited edition, they didn't make that many.
It eventually cut off, didn't it?
Yeah,
Because it was
at the time I thought TCR was expensive.
Yeah,
compared to how much they cost now. It is weird having it in the passenger side, because you can feel the acceleration.
You can feel it all kind of kicking on. But yeah, the one thing that I'm really surprised of is that I didn't realise that it would feel as firm in terms of like suspension wise, because I thought mine, it's still an R, it's still 18s.
Because yours is only your normal suspension on yours.
It's lowered compared to a normal, but it's not as firm as this, I would say. But this is, I could live with it, no problem. But I think if you went for like the 19s, I think you'd be a bit
hard.
Yeah, a little bit too crashy. I don't want to just keep driving on and then just end up I'll drive your car for like the last hour, so we'll spin it back when we get to a space. But no, I mean, first impressions, I'm like, it's a really nice place inside, because you get like these dials and stuff are like, they're proper, they still feel like 2021.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. It's still like modern, even though it's the 7.5. Without
being too complicated, you've still got your haptic buttons and stuff. On the 8s, the steering is like, it's very, very light. Like, you don't feel like you're actually turning the wheels.
Really?
Yeah, honestly, genuinely. Whereas with the 7s, and I said this before and I get it from mine, you actually, although it's not like the most engaging thing, you feel like you're turning the wheels, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think it is a little bit heavier in sport mode, isn't it? I know it's artificial, but...
So we'll take oh, look at the weather as well.
Yeah, because we've been quite lucky, so I was thinking, it'll probably be raining or soaking wet, but actually it's alright.
So far, I've had good
lucky.
luck with every single one that I've driven. Got a bit of a clear end. Oh, that was
that's quite good. When it changes up, isn't it?
That's a really good pop. And this is all like, you don't have to be going like crazy speeds.
No, you can do it all within the speed limit. It's just the acceleration, and that's what gives you the buzz.
Oh man.
But that's why, because I have looked at the Mark 8 and I was like, I don't like it enough to change it.
You know what, having driven a lot, no, you should keep this, honestly, 100%. And the fact that it's £10,000 cheaper than, even if you wanted, say, a club sport.
The thing is, I like the gloss back that this has got on it, and I don't like it's unpainted in the Mark 8, isn't it? And I just
there's a lot of little bits that unfortunately you lose. The seats definitely, although they're exactly the same as what I have in my R, I like how the bolsters are a lot firmer. So if you do go around the corners, it just clings you in a little bit more.
Because are these the same? They look to me the same pattern as the R now, just red, not blue. But I don't know if they are exactly the same.
That's kind of what they've done. Certainly on the 7, it's the same. But you could have, like the 40th that I drove had the bucket seats, which were great as well.
Yeah, I like those. I sort of think it's a shame they didn't do something like that, because they'd have just set it off.
Yeah, that would have done. But to be honest with you, I didn't realise how much bolstering this had. So actually, it's not a deal breaker. Plus, the owner was telling me those seats were like £2,500 option.
Were they?
Yeah, if you got it from new. So again, it's just like, that was back in 2016.
What do you want to spend? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can just go endlessly, but yeah, it's a nice car. It's a really, really nice car. And I'll be honest, I'm quite lucky because another owner has reached out to me with a TCR.
Oh, have they?
And so next week. So I've got a back-to-back.
Which one? Do you know what? Have they got 19s on there?
I've no idea on the spec. All I know is it's just like garaged, really well looked after. That's all they've told me, and I'm like, okay, I'll take care of it and enjoy it.
I would love to garage mine and have another car, but
it's unfortunately, I know. I just got one space on my car as well.
I think it's like though. Now you've started them. I think you just get more and more people, don't you? Once it sort of starts.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the engines. Really shifts. And it is quite cool to have a car that can then, you can still get like 40 mpg if you're like cruising on like a.
Yeah, you can if you're really careful. I think I've had just about 40 out of it if you're careful.
Or you can absolutely. No, it's really, really nice. I mean, this is like proper cresty, like a little rally station.
as a, you know, courtesy car.
Yeah.
And when I got back in this and I touched the brakes, and he took me face off, because you just get.
Oh yeah, you really.
You get used to the fact that I've forgotten how sharp they were.
They're really, really good. We're catching this Range Rover like no tomorrow. He should have sold his Range Rover or the GTI. But yeah, we've got some decent like pops and noises out of it. I mean, if you are, well, I'd really be looking to sell this if I were you, because it's it feels.
No, I don't think I will, because there's nothing out there that I think I want more.
And that's the thing, and you're now at a stage where you're talking like tiny little percentages better, and it's like.
Yeah, unless you go something crazy like have an M3, which I can't afford.
Yeah, and
there's nothing close.
Exactly, it starts becoming stupid. It's not even like the purchase price, it's like the servicing for like M cars are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I literally get away with going in there and just being like, you've got a Golf, this engine's in so many different cars, just with different tunes. They don't, you know, they don't pull your pants down, which is nice.
Well, that was good.